Hi, I'm Evan, and today I'll be reviewing the structures and functions of the four main human tissue types in skin. Epithelial tissue makes up the linings of hollow organs and body cavities, glands, and the surface of the skin. Its functions include protection, secretion and absorption, diffusion, and sensory reception. This is an example of simple ciliated columnar epithelium. Here at the bottom, we see the basement membrane that anchors the cells, with one layer of columnar epithelium above and cilia on the cell surface. So this surface might be facing the inside of the respiratory tract, for example. Each epithelial cell contains a nucleus, which you can see here, and the cilia function in the movement of mucus. Other types of epithelium include simple squamous, which is one layer of round cells, simple cuboidal, which is one layer of cube-shaped cells, and epithelium that consists of multiple layers of cells that are known as stratified squamous, stratified cuboidal, and stratified columnar. Pseudostratified columnar epithelium has the appearance of multiple layers, but is in fact just one. Connective tissue is a varied group of tissues with varied functions. It holds body structures together and supports organs, but also stores fat, transports the components of fluids, and provides protection. It is found in bones, cartilage, tendons, blood, lymph, and fat. This model represents a type of connective tissue known as loose connective tissue proper, and more specifically is adipose tissue. Here we can see the adipose cells, called adipocytes, with their nuclei and some arterioles running through. Adipose tissue is found under the skin and between the organs and functions to store fat for insulation. Another type of connective tissue proper includes dense connective tissue proper, which makes up tendons and ligaments. Supportive connective tissue is cartilage and bone. Hyaline cartilage is found in the trachea, fibrous cartilage is found in the joints, and elastic cartilage is found in the ears. Osseous or bone connective tissue can be compact or hard bone, or cancellous or spongy bone. A more abstract type of connective tissue is fluid connective tissue, which consists of blood and lymph. This connective tissue is found throughout the body in the blood and lymphatic vessels and transports nutrients, gases, wastes, and aids in the immune response. Here we have an example of muscle tissue. This particular example is of skeletal muscle. Here we can clearly see the striations that are characteristic of this type of muscle, the tubular shape, as well as the multiple nuclei within each cell. Skeletal muscle is attached to bones and body openings to the outside. It is voluntary muscle and, like all muscle, responds to electrical stimuli, resulting in movement. Skeletal muscle moves body parts, produces heat, and protects organs. Cardiac muscle is another type of muscle tissue. It is found in the heart, where it contracts to pump blood around the body. Cardiac muscle is striated, branched, and each cell contains a single nucleus. Smooth muscle is found in the walls of hollow organs and in blood and lymph vessels. This type of muscle tissue is not striated, is spindle-shaped, and each cell contains a single nucleus. In the vessels, smooth muscle maintains flow and pressure. It opens and closes the airways, and in the intestines, it plays a role in motility. Nervous tissue sends and receives electrical impulses around the body. It controls and coordinates many activities within the body. Nervous tissue is found in the brain, spinal cord, and the peripheral nerves. Here, we have a model of nervous tissue, showing the nerve cell and supporting cells called neuroglia, or glial cells. The nerve cell itself consists of the cell body, or soma, containing a nucleus and dendrites, which collect and store incoming information from neurotransmitters. The cell body connects to the axon. The axon carries the nerve impulses to the synapses on the axon terminal, releasing them as neurotransmitters to be received by other neurons or muscles. The myelin sheath on the axon helps to prevent the signal from degrading. Finally, we will take a look at skin. Skin is a fairly complex structure made up of several layers and accessory structures. Here we can see the three main layers of the skin, with the epidermis being the most superficial, the thick dermis, and the underlying hypodermis. The epidermis contains several layers as seen here on the model. The stratum corneum, which I made this darker pink color. The stratum lucidum, this white color, which is this layer of skin is only found in thick skin, like the palms of the hands or soles of the feet. The stratum granulosum, I made this light blue color here. The stratum spinosum, I made this lighter pink color. And finally, the stratum basal, this dark blue color. These layers of the epidermis coordinate to continuously produce skin cells to replace those that are sloughed off. The dermis is the thickest layer of skin. It is divided into the upper papillary layer here, which provides nutrients to the epidermis, and the lower reticular layer, which provides elasticity and supports the sweat glands, sebaceous glands, and hair follicles. Apocrine sweat glands, seen here, are found in the armpits and pubic area and produce a milky sweat, while the eccrine sweat glands, seen here, are found all over the body and produce the watery sweat that we typically think of as sweat, which helps to regulate the body's temperature. These sweat glands can produce up to 2 liters of sweat per day. The sebaceous glands, seen here, are found everywhere but the soles of the feet and the palms, and they produce oil that gives the skin its waterproof property and protects against microbial growth. Hair follicles found in the dermis feed the hair. Inside of the hair bulb, which makes new hair cells, is the hair papilla, which nourishes the hair. Each hair follicle is attached to an erector pili muscle, which contracts in response to cold, causing what we know as goosebumps. The hair shaft is the part of the hair that extends above the skin and helps to keep the body warm and also keeps dirt and germs away. Meissner's corpuscles in the dermal papilla contain nerve endings that sense fine touch, and deep in the dermis, the Pacinian corpuscles sense deep touch. They are found throughout the body and are highly concentrated on the palms and soles. The deepest layer of the skin, the hypodermis, stores fat and functions as insulation for the body. This completes our review of tissues and skin. Thanks for watching.